Hello my friends, we are back in the lab. So I was going through my stuff and I came across this. So this is an old circuit board. I believe it's from UPS system, and then a point crossed my head. So how much of these components can be reused? What value can we get from something like this? So right now we are having an issue with e-waste, and we have been having a lot of, or rather we have been hearing a lot of conversations around this issue. So reusing some of these components is the way to go. So how much value can we get from a board like this? Well, let's head to the bench and find out. So well, we are at the bench, and let's see how much of this board can be reused. Well, now where do we begin? So let's start here. So this is a heatsink, and the good thing about heatsinks, they don't get old. So it's just a chunk of metal, and this one can live forever. So if you have some project you are working on, and you need a way of dissipating some heat, so this is the way to go. So you just use a heatsink. So this one is very usable, and so we are going to keep this. Also, I have some capacitors here. Now on salvaging capacitors, I'll would like to salvage the big ones, since the cost of capacitor increases with the capacity. So especially the high voltage ones, anything that is rated for high voltage is usually very expensive. So these ones, like this one is where is it? So 63 volts by 680 microfarad. Another one here. So this is 63 volts for 70, so the same as this. So this board is a bit old. One thing that kills capacitor is their age. So but if you are working on something that is not that sensitive, we can salvage this. If you have an ESR tester, it's good to test these capacitors before you use them. They might look healthy from the outside, but you might get a different thing when you test them. So as I have said, the cost of capacitors increases with the rating. So the bigger the capacitor, the more expensive it's going to get. So these ones are still okay, I guess. So there are small capacitors I'm seeing. So these small ones are very cheap, so there is no point of salvaging them, not unless I'm working on something and I need a particular value of capacitor. Then I can get this. So these ones I'm going to leave them there. So the other thing we can salvage from this board is transistors. So right here I'm having 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5. Actually these are linear voltage regulators. I have 7812 there for 12 volts, and another 7805 volts. So these ones are very good, especially when you want to power a low powered device, maybe a 5 volts LED or something, or a chip, or a Bluetooth module. You can use this. So these ones we can keep them. Just going to remove so these ones are useful. You can also use these ones to power fan. So if you have a fan, you can use the 78012 regulator to power your fan. Also, I'm having a MOSFET here. So this is a IRF 540N and an LM317. So this is a MOSFET. I need to remove this one. So it's good to remove the usable components from a board like this. Storing this board will eat a lot of the usable space. So there is those. For the smaller transistors, so these ones are very cheap, not unless you are looking for a particular one, so you can leave those ones there. So the next thing you can salvage from a board like this is resistors. So now, but for resistors, it's good to take these huge ones, the high power ones like these ones. So the rest you can get them for cheap. So I'll remove these big ones. We have another one here. The smaller resistors are very cheap, so there is no point of salvaging them. Not unless I'm looking for a particular value, then I'll leave the rest there. So we also have a bigger one. So this 5 watts, also very usable. So those high power resistors are very good. So on to the next one is I'm seeing I have some so these are blade fuses, so or automotive fuses. So these ones are rated for 40 amperes. So these ones we can take them. And we need a lot of heat to remove them. So they are kind of tricky to remove, but I believe they are off. So these ones we can use them in some projects. The other thing is this thing here. So now this one is very important. So this is what is known as a CT, or a current transformer. So this one is very good for sensing AC current. See, we have a wire going through it, so we can salvage this together with that wire. We are going to be looking at this at some point. So and my CT is off. So as I've said, this is a very usable component. It's a current transformer. So the next thing we need to salvage is some diodes. So I'm seeing some diodes here, so we can salvage this. Also, the choice of salvaging something from an old board like this can be guided by its rating. So we can use these ones somewhere. About connectors, these ones will depend on what you are working on. We also have a buzzer here. We can remove this for a project. It's also very usable. And then so there is this. So this is a varistor. It's a voltage dependent resistor. So this one, it's to protect a circuit against high voltage surges. So this one is very useful. Anything that deals with high voltage, we are going to keep that. When it comes to inductors or filters like this one, so this one has a very huge core. We can definitely take this, and now maybe we can rewire it to serve our purpose, but we can also use this one for filtration purposes in our power supplies. So this one, we are going to keep it. Just like that. So there is some writings here. So I think these are the part number for this inductor. So also these capacitors, there are some capacitors here. You can also keep this. Anything that handles high voltage can be salvaged. So, and the other thing we need to remove are these relays. So these ones in particular are rated for, they are for 12 volts, I think, at the coil side, and they are rated at 10 amperes at 250 volts. So these ones we are going to keep. So let me remove them. Just like that. So let me remove the rest and come back. So the last thing that we can salvage from any board are some IC chips, but for IC chips you really need to know what that IC does, and if you don't have access to its data sheet, then that one will be useless. So this one is 324. So this is a general purpose op amp, and you can find these ones in power supplies, amplifier boards, and yeah, this one is useful. But for this one, not unless I'm working on a board like this, so this one I wouldn't take it. So but since this one is on a socket, we can just pop it out. So we can keep this. So I don't have a use for it, just for souvenir or something. So now this one is quite usable. So comes off very nice. That is a very clean removal right there. I guess from this board I'm done. So this one has to go to the bin. Someone else will come and collect it, so and go maybe harvest copper from this board. So let's see how much we have. So well, from that board, so this is how much we have harvested. So you can compare the space these components take with the space this board will take. Well, I will go ahead and test these components and see the ones that are damaged, but the ones that I'm worried about being damaged are maybe the transistors and the diodes, and for the fuses they are still intact. We have our relays there. We can do a project using these relays, and that's it. So I think I'm done for today. See you in the next video. So remember to share, subscribe, and also you can leave a comment. Also, I have seen that we hit 200 subscribers. Well, let's continue preaching this gospel. See you next time.